We're meeting again here in the garage. So thank you so much for joining us today. Once again, my name is Addie Smith. I'm a research analyst for the Ray. Within the garage, the Ray is highlighting promising technologies that could be game changers as we work together to build net zero transportation. Today, we are joined by Mr. Tom Grimes, Senior Vice President of Business Development at Spotlight Solar. Just a few quick reminders before I hand things off to Tom. He's going to get about 15 minutes to present so that we have time for Q&A afterwards. Don't be shy with your questions, folks. We want this space to be as casual and welcoming as possible. And with that said, in the garage is a neutral environment free of any obligations. We will be recording the presentation portion, but the Q&A won't be recorded. All right, Tom, I'm going to hand it off to you. It is your time to shine.
That's great, Addie. Thank you very much. And hello, everybody. Thanks for joining today. Let me just launch a presentation here so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Let's see, make sure this is set up properly for us. All right. Can everybody see that? Addie, are we good to go?
Yes, it looks great.
Awesome. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Tom Grimes. I'm head of business development with Spotlight Solar. Thanks for taking time out of your lunch or your March Madness watching. I'm a Tar Heel, so it's a little bit of a sad day for us here, but there's excitement everywhere in the country around that. But I did want to thank you for spending a little time. What I want to talk to you about today is introduce you to Spotlight Solar, who we are, what we do, but more importantly, talk about how our visible solar products can enhance support and enhance your electric vehicle projects, leading towards a net zero future. So great to be here in the garage today and look forward to your questions afterwards. Just a little bit of background on Spotlight Solar. We are based in North Carolina, here in the Raleigh-Durham, Chapel Hill area, the Research Triangle. We make only visible aesthetic solar products. That's our whole reason for being, that are highlighting, engaging, and supporting sustainability. Our solar trees and our solar shelters are manufactured in the United States, in Ohio, and in North Carolina. We have hundreds of structures installed throughout the USA, coast to coast, north to south, east to west. We're also in Canada, have them installed there, and are starting to ship and have them installed globally too. Our business is really focused on public sector, education, universities, schools, governments, and commercial sector, both small companies up to large corporate companies. We don't do residential. We're really focused on these larger entities, but also small businesses and governments. Our products are designed for visibility, and they are seen. We estimate that our customers estimate that our solar trees and solar shelters are seen by over 60 million people a year. We really do focus on innovation, not just in the design of our products and the engineering of them, but also how they're used afterwards, after they're installed. We really do focus on engagement, so that we do that in a number of different ways, including people being able to plug in and charge at our solar trees and shelters, but also going as far as doing things like augmented reality experiences. So we have a lot of strengths in those areas too. So that's some of the things that we do. And as you can see, we have a wide variety of customers, as high profile as the Kennedy Space Center that you see there, where we have 5 of our Lift solar trees installed. Oops, going the wrong way here. First, our solar tree business, which we've been doing for over a dozen years. And as I mentioned, we have hundreds of those installed, including this, which is our Lift design. It's our big 2-armed solar array design. It's designed to be beautiful and striking, and people notice it, but really to make a statement, 2, to engage people, but 3, really support and enhance the solar or the renewable energy or the sustainability you can't see. Perhaps it's rooftop solar, or a solar farm far away producing energy, or a LEED Platinum building. but they're all some things you can't see. So we want to bring it out to where the people are, and we do that through our solar trees. And ultimately, we want to highlight environmental stewardship and inspire more adoption globally. So that was Lift. This is Curve. This is another one of our designs, our popular designs. It's more like a tree or a flower. This is at Port Canaveral, where the Disney cruise ships come and go. It's kind of a park mixed use setting, and they've got a number of our curved trees with our really cool, interesting LED edge lighting that looks like neon, but it's LED and you can change colors with it. They also have tables which you can charge. So it's a really nice place for people to pass by, come up, charge their phones, get some shade, and hang out and meet people. For our solar trees, we have 4 different designs. They fit a range of aesthetics. They're all built to order. We ship and deliver in about 10 weeks, but they all can be highly customized, colors, accessories, etc. And then when they arrive on site, they can be assembled in a day. We work with solar installers for our solar trees to install these, but they can go up in about a day or 2. They're designed to be very durable, to last a long time. You put them in the ground, the maintenance is very low on these. Just keep them clean, make sure the solar's working. They have commercial grade paint systems. They're just built to provide value and look beautiful for a long time. Now, in this past year, we introduced a new product that's a little bit different from our solar trees. This is what we call Haven, which is really more of a shelter and kind of a place to be. Whereas solar trees are for people walking around or cars driving by and seeing them. Haven is really, it's the idea of a big farm style table where you hang out with this beautiful shade structure over it that's provided primarily by solar. It's an all integrated unit. It's got charging, battery systems, can be placed anywhere on any flat ground. And so a little bit different implementation, but the idea is the same thing. Highly aesthetic solar, engages people, but a lot of functionality to it, in a place for folks to hang out, whether it's your family or your friends or your coworkers. And it fits a very wide variety of environments, including this one is it's a mixed use. It's got a coffee shop nearby, but also some EV chargers where people just wanted to, drew people in and they wanted to work at it because it's just a really nice place to be, especially when the weather is nice. So that's a real quick overview of Spotlight Solar. What I really want to focus on today is pairing some of these visible solar products with electric vehicle and electric vehicle charging, because that's certainly more pertinent to what you all do. Why does this make sense? Well, as you well know, electric vehicles, electric vehicle charging and solar is taking off like crazy. There's exponential growth in both. It's where the economy is going. It's where transportation and energy is going. So it makes sense to combine those. The tailwinds behind it from the government support and the private sector support for both is very significant, as you know. And then the groundswell of public support from everybody, but especially younger generations, millennials and Gen Zs. They just want to see more EV charging. They want to use more EV vehicles, and they want more solar energy. So doesn't it make sense to bring them together? So it's a natural combo, because especially when you have solar with EV charging, it's like it's a multiplicative sustainability effect. It's clean energy powering clean cars. And so everybody's in support of that, and it makes sense to deploy that. The challenge of doing that, though, is that there are some, places where they don't match up completely. EV charging is done a lot of cases at night, not when the sun is producing energy from solar. The power requirements of EV chargers, the draw of those are more high bursts of energy versus slow, steady production of solar energy. And sometimes there's not land nearby or roofs to put solar panels on. So that creates a challenge. And if you're not feeding into the EV chargers directly, you do need battery systems in a lot of cases to completely support that. And battery systems, while coming down in cost, are still pretty significant in terms of having enough battery capacity to support these EV chargers. So what do you do to combine these two, but do it in a sensible way that makes a big impact with people and really brings them together? Well, the co-location of EV charging and visible solar that may not be powering all the EV chargers, but they're both maybe grid tied, but they are enhancing each other and bringing that natural support and natural combination of the two. And we have great examples of how to do that. At the Ray, their solar highway in Georgia, at the Georgia Visitor Center, they have one of our lift solar trees that is adorned with signage and the edge lights and everything, and you can't miss it. And it's co-located right next to a fast charger, sponsored by Kia. It's a great location. And it's a great beacon. So there are tangible benefits of combining these two. One is just that visibility. Solar trees are much easier to see and solar shelters are much easier to see than EV chargers. People need a beacon to bring them in. The visible solar can provide that communication, the way to have signs or QR codes and calls to action that you may not be able to do on an EV charger. And then just the functionality of them, of visible solar, being able to have a place to plug in, a table to sit at, or seating, or a place to stand and plug in. It's just a cool place to hang out when you're with when you use those together. And then there's just the more visceral experience, the engagement of actually using something that's powered by solar, that's connected with EV charging. And people kind of get that immediately, and then you get the long-term benefit of having that reputation of showing that true commitment to sustainability, of doing clean energy and clean cars charging together. And this can be done in a wide variety of ways. It can be done like we have at the Ray, where it's not only powering cars, electric vehicles, but also electric buses. So mass transportation. There's a lot of different ways you can implement that. And we've done this, or have had our clients implement it with solar trees and EV chargers. This is an electric utility near a park that has put up a number of electric vehicle chargers near a walkway that explains everything about solar energy. And these solar trees do provide a lot of energy that offsets the energy being used by these EV chargers. You can have, this is at a convention center, Orange County, Orlando Convention Center, which many of you may have been to conventions at. It's one of the biggest in the country. They have a huge solar array on the top of 1.1 megawatts. Nobody knows about it, but they have 4 of our lift solar trees co-located nearby EV chargers set up like this around the site, where you can learn, but also have that combination of charging. And a lift tree does provide enough energy on a daily basis to provide the charging used by 2 level 2 EV chargers feeding 4 parking spots. So there is a tangible benefit of and an offset of these chargers in the solar trees. We have businesses that have done this on their own site, where they set up, a big solar tree at their front entrance, but also one near their EV chargers, where their visitors and employees use it. Oh gosh, I keep going the wrong way here. We have utilities that have large electric vehicle fleets. This is Duquesne Light and Power up in Pittsburgh, where viewable from a large highway passing by their fleet charging center, they have all their electric vehicles, but they have a big lift solar tree there to signify and show off what they're doing with EV charging and solar. But it can be small scale. It can be, this is an electric co-op in North Carolina that has a single solar tree near a solar charger. This is another electric co-op and another one in North Carolina with a curved solar tree near an EV charger. or it can be something very large. This is an EV plaza that Florida Power and Light has set up with a lift out front on the main street while people pass by, but then they have this large plaza that accommodates a number of cars to plug in and charge. And then in the back, they have this education center with tables and a kiosk to learn and play games and do all these things. So they've done this on a very large scale, but you can take that concept of education or a comfortable place to hang out, and you can do it through now our newest product, which is Haven, which I like to call the perfect place to be while you charge your EV. And it's a large shade canopy, as I showed earlier. It's a self-contained unit. You could place this at any area on a rest stop, or it could be in a public park next to EV charging, or even a pocket park. It provides a lot of ways for people to plug in. We really focused on the quality of the table and the seating to make it very comfortable and a really nice place to hang out. You can integrate smart city sensors or some other sort of sensor into it because it's all electronically wired for that kind of implementation. It's got lighting built into it if you want that. It's very like our solar trees. It's very easy to maintain and manage. Just keep it clean. It really does not require much once you deploy it. Management can be done locally on Bluetooth, or you can do it remote. And it's made in the United States like our solar trees, manufactured here in North Carolina. And most importantly, I see, Addie, we're probably getting close to the time limit here. I'm wrapping it up. So, and maybe most importantly, from an affordability standpoint, it qualifies for 40% of the Direct Pay Inflation Reduction Act rebate. So with that, let me close it down. Just some pictures, a couple other configurations. We have ADA access. We have a standing height version of this, so without seating, and we have a bench-only version, which may be great for transit stops, perhaps without the table. And we can integrate signage like we do on our solar trees with both big signage and perhaps informational signage with QR codes. There's some specs here, and we can go through, and when people
we'll send the slides out afterwards, Tom. So they'll
absolutely.
go through them. This is perfect. There we are. This was so fabulous, Tom. Thank you so much. I know for myself, I could have sat here and listened about Spotlight Solar for about 4 hours, but we do have some eager and curious folks here with some great questions. So I do want to make sure that we get time to get to those. So I'm just going to jump right in with those if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
We have one here about what are the best